How much are you looking forward to this big Champions League tie on Wednesday?
Yeah, as soon as we got through in the league phase and we knew that we were going to obviously be qualified, it was funny. We got into the Villa change room and realized that we were either going to get Madrid or Bayern. It was pretty exciting, and then to see our name get pulled against Bayern Munich. It's going to be a special match, and again, one of those ones that you're really excited just to be a part of and say that you're going to have a chance to be out there, because I think that we all can agree that Celtic Park's going to be rocking, and now it's up to us to go out there and give those fans something to cheer for. So no, look, we're all super excited for it. It's a massive tie, and a great chance for us to go and show not only the rest of Europe but the rest of the world, what we're all about as a team. So yeah, no, it's an exciting opportunity for us.
I was going to say, you could be coming up against an international teammate, but I think Alphonso Davies might be injured. Have you spoken to him in the lead up to this at all?
Yeah, we talked a little bit actually. I'm not expecting him, especially for the first leg. We'll see for the second leg. But no, probably a positive for us. But at the same time, again, their squad's so deep. I think Rafael Guerrero's been playing at left back in the meantime, and he's been top player again for them, and has been for the past decade or so. So it's one of those ones you look at their squad and just looking at players of Fonzie's quality. I've obviously trained against him, played with him with our national team plenty of times, and yeah, it's a different level. He's truly a world-class player. I think he was world's best 11. He was 19 years old and a Champions League winner. He'd done all these things, multi-time Bundesliga winner, and yeah, you just see his level in training, and you realize that it's just 18 more of guys like that. It's going to be difficult, and it's something that again we're mentally preparing for. We know it's not going to be an easy task, but something that we're excited for. And obviously for me, chance to play against a fellow Canadian, it's at this level, it's pretty rare for us, and it's something that I'm hoping that he's going to be fit then for the second leg, so that we can go at it against each other.
Is it quite obvious in international training when you talk about him being that step up, that level up, when you see him up close playing with them, playing against them and training? Is it just quite clear just how good he is and how good that level is? Yeah,
I think instantly just the eye test right away, you go up and you stand beside these guys, and it's been similar when you play against the top Premier League teams. When we played against Dortmund and things like that, you're just in the tunnel and the size of these guys, the presence they have. They really are some of the best athletes in the world, and you go up against that, you can really see the level. Okay, that's different. And Fonzie instantly is like that, and just in terms of his physicality, his just his physical traits are unbelievable, and then you match in how quick his feet are and how he sees the game. Again, he's been at Bayern now for got to be getting close to maybe 6 or 7 years. Like, you've been in that kind of environment for that long, training against the top players in the world. Just his footballing IQ and everything. I've always been really impressed by training with him and just seeing the game through his eyes. And again, as a fellow fullback, I like to lean on him and see kind of what he's doing. But I've experienced it. I see teams will double team him nearly when he's a left back for our national team. It's unheard of, but when we play games in CONCACAF, they'll do that, and oftentimes they'll send their best winger onto my side. So I get that. It's just like it's a mismatch against Fonzie, so they try and pick on me instead. And it's something that comes with the territory. But yeah, he's a super talented player. And again, that's what Bayern Munich's all about. They're going to have a lot of those players, so we're ready for that.
I was going to say, it'd be nice to get your own back then, for teams having to target you because of him. It'd be nice to try and get your own back and get one over him.
It would be nice. Yeah, no, trust me, there'd be definitely some bragging rights going into the March window if we could pull this one off. But yeah, we'll take it game by game here. Obviously, it's 180 minutes. So yeah, we just got to get through this first 90. Obviously, use Celtic Park to our advantage, and hopefully we can make it a really memorable night.
How much do you think the Celtic squad have grown since the first game? You've played 8 now into the playoffs. What have you learned, and how much have you feel the group's improved in this campaign?
Yeah, I think for me, obviously, being in the Champions League last year, that group stage, 6 matches, the difference, there's a reason why they call it a league phase now. It genuinely feels like a league. You play that many matches, obviously 8 individual opponents that are different, unique opponents. It truly feels like a league, and you are going to learn. It's just like how we're in the domestic league, how we've grown and figured things out as time goes on. I think that we've also noticed that within the Champions League. Okay, this is what the minimum standards are, and away from home versus home, how it's going to be different, how you need to impose yourself when you're the home team versus away, is that you need to be comfortable defending and understand that, yeah, it's not always going to be, a comfortable scoreline. Like sometimes we have domestically where we're dominating the ball. It's not always going to be that. And you need to have the bravery and the understanding that, yeah, you know what, we're going to have periods and spells where we're going to have to defend our box, defend our final third, and you need to enjoy that as well. And I think that that's something that, our back fours always enjoy defending, but you could really see how much, the guys like Davies and Maeda, and when you have that kind of buy-in from the front of the pitch, I think it filters through the whole group. And I think that that's where the learning's been, is that we're more comfortable in a defensive shape and going toe-to-toe with the big teams. And again, there's a reason why we've made it this far, why we're into the knockouts. But now you really get the titans of European football. So it's a great opportunity, but at the same time, is that it's not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination.
Much on this will Davies and be, especially in this first leg at Celtic Park.
Yeah, for crying out loud, he scored. I'm not sure he's got to be one of the most informed players in all of Europe right now. He can't seem to miss right now. So yeah, again, when he's scoring and creating, he adds just another dimension. But also, everyone knows his work rate's unbelievable. He's a nightmare as a fullback to go up against, and I get the joy of having him running after me all throughout the week most of the time. So yeah, it's a bummer for us, but at the same time, that's why we brought in guys like Jota. It's to have that quality that, between that whole entire, kind of all of our wingers, that entire group, that there is enough quality and depth that, when something like that does happen with suspension, that other guys can step up. So yeah, I think right now between Jota, Yang, Nick Kuhn, we're still really happy with where we're at in terms of our depth and our talent there. So yeah, it's a great opportunity for one of those guys to step up, and I'm expecting that someone will in the coming days.
You're well known for your fitness in this league, Alistair. How big a jump is it to the top level of football?
Yeah, it's funny. I look at the GPS data all the time after matches, and domestically, often it's different when you're pinned into another team's half. It's not as much long distance running for me. It's a lot of overlaps and stuff. But when you look at the GPS data, compare that with, an Aston Villa or something like that, it is a different type of fitness, because there's so many more accelerations and decelerations in terms of you're defending, you're constantly in a low block, but you're constantly stepping out, in and out of things. And for me, the biggest difference I've found is the mental concentration, being fully concentrated for 90 minutes. I paid the price for it at Villa. I go to sleep for half a second, boom, give and go right behind me, 3 minutes in the game, and it's 1-0. These teams are ruthless with that if you take one wrong step as a defender, if your weight's on your wrong foot, these guys are too athletic and they're too good that they're going to punish you. So I think that's one of the biggest and most difficult steps up, is obviously, as we talked about at the beginning, it's just the physicality of the actual players, but the mental concentration that's required then is that you can't slip up, because they will punish you. Is something that, you can maybe get away with it a little bit domestically. Sometimes you can be off it a little bit, and a team won't necessarily punish you for taking a shortcut. At this level though, especially against teams like this where we're at now, you can't. And that's one of those ones where you walk off that pitch and you're physically and mentally exhausted. You could sleep for 24 hours straight after those games. But again, that's the kind of football that you want to be in.
How difficult was it to kind of get yourself together after that mistake after 3 minutes?
We conceded another one, so apparently not too well. But no, I think that's where that growth, as we touched on, has come in over this league phase, is that we've understood, okay, you know what? Yeah, it's similar to Dortmund, we conceded 2 early ones. That one we kind of let it snowball and get out of control. Instead there, we decide, okay, let's stiffen it up a little bit at the back. Let's, just keep our heads, make some passes, get our crowd back into it, and all of a sudden you can find your footing. And I think that's something that Adam Ida brings to us as well, is the ability to, if there's space behind, let's use him. Let's use his frame, his running ability to go hold the ball up and create some difficulties for them defensively, give them something to think about. And I think that's something, again, that we've learned. We're giving the game what it needs a bit more than maybe we had been previously. And I think that's a really strong sign of the growth that we've had as a group there mentally as well.